everyone, so today's video is going to be a 2-in-1. I'm going to be showing you how to create the classic smoky eye, which is basically a black and brown smoky eye, and also how to achieve this if you have hooded or mono lids. So I have hooded lids and I didn't know this until like a year and a half ago, so I have been doing my eyeshadow kind of the wrong way. I wasn't doing it to kind of accommodate my type of eye shape. Well, I do have two types of eye shape. I do have the almond shape, and also my lid shape is hooded. So basically I have a lot of space between my brow bone and my actual lid. So I kind of have like the skin that kind of droops forward. So when I open my eyes, you literally can't see much of the eyeshadow. So I'm going to show you how to do this. These two videos were requested, so I thought I'd do them in one. Basically, with the people who weren't blessed with big lid spaces. So people like Makeup Game on Point, Carly Bell, they have big lid spaces, so their crease is already formed. They don't really have to do too much when it comes to applying eyeshadow, but the rest of us kind of do. I think if you figure out what your eye shape and lid shape are, then you can definitely do any kind of eye tutorial. I will also do another one where I'm actually showing you how to create bigger lids using a lighter eyeshadow, because obviously I'm using black, you can't really see anything in how I did it, so I will do a video on that as well. So this is going to be like a talk through video, so I will be talking all the way through, so it will be slightly longer than my usual tutorials, but I just wanted to do something different because I usually just speed up my tutorials or just do a voiceover, so I wanted to take you through every step. So I really hope you like it. If you do have any other how-to videos or any suggestions, then definitely let me know and I will try to do them for you. So if you want to see how I created this smoky eye, keep on watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys! So people with hooded lids would have a lot of space between their brow bone and their natural crease. So this is pretty much what my lid space is, just from there to there. And you can tell there's just so much space. We tend to not know what to do with it, so we just literally only apply eyeshadow just this area and then leave this part bare. So what you have to do is to take your eyeshadow higher than your natural crease line. If you feel for your eye socket, your eyeball, this is where mine is. So it's here, as you can see, it's a lot higher than where my actual crease line is, which is down here. So feel for your eyeball. This is where I would form my crease, so my artificial crease. So you want to make sure that you take the colour a lot higher than your natural crease line, your natural lid line when you're applying colour, especially when you're doing smoky eyes. So the first thing I'm going to do is to prime my lids, and this is also going to help to kind of reduce and hide my natural creasing. Because if I close my eyes you don't see it, but when I open my eyes you see that creasing, that fold, and then this kind of like big space. And the reason why they call it hooded is because it's, if you look to the side, you kind of see that this bit is kind of protruding out a little bit, this area. So it's like a hood, hence the name. So we're going to try and get rid of that basically. I'm just going to put that all over my lid. And primers help to kind of also reduce creasing. If your eyelids are usually oily, this will stop that from happening and stop the eyeshadow from sliding everywhere basically. Now I'm going to apply a base, and this is also going to help to intensify the colours and also try and hide that crease line, your natural crease line. So because I'm doing black, I'm going to be using a black base, and it doesn't really matter if you're using black eyeshadow. A black base usually just helps to intensify colours. You can even put that underneath lighter colours. So because I want to make this a lot more intense and reduce creasing, I'm going to use a gel liner. You can use a black base. I'm going to use a gel liner. This is my favourite one so far, recently anyway. It's the Inglot gel liner in the shade 77. Apply that to my lid. I'm not going to take it any higher than my lid. Just apply it to the lid area. As you can see. And just blend that slightly. Now one tip to remember when working with hooded lids is when you apply your brow bone highlights, usually you use shimmery or eyeshadow shades that have a sheen to it. Make sure to keep it as close to your brow bone as possible, because if you take it any lower, it's just going to make the light shine on your hood and it's going to bring it out even more and make it a lot more droopy. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that any kind of shimmery shades are left away from the crease and as close to your brow bone colour as possible. I always use matte shadows for my crease area, so I think if you do have hooded or monolids, I would definitely stay away from non-matte shadows when it comes to your crease area. I'm just going to use MAC Arena, which is my go-to brow bone shade because I just can't find anything else. Apply this to the high point of my brow and sweep downwards. We want to concentrate the colour on the high points and then kind of reduce the pressure of the brush as you go inwards, if that makes sense. So you want more colour at the high points and then less colour at the edges. Sweep it downwards, but like I said, make sure you don't sweep it down too low. Now we're going to add what we call a transition shade. So after you've applied your lid colour, like I said, you take it a little higher than your natural crease line. There will still be some space between that shade and your brow bone. You want to have like a colour that's going to be in the middle and it's going to give it that gradient effect. I usually use a skin tone flesh coloured shadow or something in the orangey family. Usually I would mix MAC's Red Brick and MAC's Swiss Chocolate. And I want to give a really crisp edge, so I'm just going to put this, I'm going to feel for where my socket is and then apply that orange shade. Taking another brush and just blending that out towards the brow bone highlight, just so there aren't any harsh lines. Now I'm going to go for a dark brown. I'm using the Wet n Wild Vanity palette, this brown shade, and I'm going to put that underneath that orange. So it's going to go from black to brown to orange and into the light brow bone highlight. As you can see, the smoky eye is coming together. Now I'm just going to add the black eyeshadow, and this is just going to make it even more smoky. I'm going to use Makeup Geek's Corrupt eyeshadow, which is a really dark black matte eyeshadow. And I'm using a Makeup Addiction tapered crease brush and then going to blend that upwards. So I can just clean it up with some concealer once I'm finished. So that's pretty much the smoky eye. As you can see, it goes from black to dark brown to orange and then to the brow bone highlight. For my inner tear duct, I'm going to use MAC's Woodwinked with a Juvia's Place pencil brush. You just want to open the eyes a little bit. With an eye pencil, I'm going to apply this to my waterline and then smoke it out. And this is the Scandalized Waterproof Kohl Liner by Rimmel. Gonna apply some lashes. I am doubling them up as usual, and these are they're the Red Cherry Wispies and the Ardell Wispies. So for my under eye concealer, I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Face is looking a bit shiny because I forgot to apply my primer before I put on my foundation. I'm using the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. A lot of words, but it actually works. The shade I'm using is Amande, whichever way you want to say it. And I'm just going to apply it in a triangle motion. And I've just got, no I haven't, I thought I had some concealer in my hair. Down underneath my eyes, down my nose and forehead. Cupid's bow and chin. By the way, my foundation, so I fell for the hype as usual. I got another foundation. This is the NARS All Day Luminous Foundation. Oh my gosh, amazing. I didn't have to use a concealer. I didn't have to do the whole color corrector thing. This covers everything. My beauty blender, I'm just going to blend this out. I feel like I added a little bit too much concealer, but this is what the sponge is for. It kind of shears it out a little bit. And I will bronze my face, so I will try to get rid of that lightness. The bridge of my nose. I'm using a different brush. I'm using the pointed foundation brush by Real Techniques. So blending it into my brow bone as well. I'm going to use the Sacha Cosmetics setting powder in Buttercup. I'm just going to set my under eye. It's a little darker than Banana. So sometimes I use it if I don't want an obvious like bright under eye. I'm using another Juvia's Place brush. It's like a pointed, what do you call this kind of brush? Like a pointed kabuki brush. Just going to add a tiny bit to just underneath my jawline. It's going to make my contour line come out a little bit more. Brush off the excess powder. Oh, I haven't set my forehead. Oh, don't forget that part. I'm going to use a smaller version of that kabuki to do the nose part. I'm going to brush off any of that excess powder. Ooh. With my face powder, the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark Deep, and a Makeup Addiction brush in Precision. The Precision powder, I'm just going to apply it to the rest of my face. Just applying some mascara to my bottom lash line. Gonna bronze up my face with the Covergirl bronzer in Ebony Bronze. Just gonna darken my face a little bit. I feel like it's still quite light. Gonna contour using Espresso by ABH. For my blush, I'm going to use Golden Ruby by La Femme. I'm just using this using the tapered highlighter brush, just so that the colour isn't too pigmented on my skin. A little bit of these blushes go a long way, so I'm using a more of like a diffuser type brush, just so that it doesn't apply too much on my skin. Applying a little bit into my the apples of my cheeks as well, to give that highlight of life. I'm using this Becca Skin Perfector highlighter in the shade Opal and a fan brush. Applying this to the high points of my cheekbones. It's so nice. I kind of put off getting this because I felt like I already had like good enough highlighters, but this highlighter is pretty awesome. For my lips, I'm going to fill it in with Rimmel Spice Lip Pencil. Doesn't have to be neat. And then using Gerard Cosmetics 1995. It's pretty much almost the same colour. And then go over it with the outer corner with NYX's Mahogany. And I also highlight my Cupid's bow. From a liquid lipstick, you'd want something that's going to last you all day. And you know how much I read about the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks, and they're amazing, so I had to get these. But to put it in a nice way, I was very disappointed with these products.